Welcome to episode 59 of the Switchmania Playcast.
The premium edition game-isode.
The return to form.
The premium edition game-isode?
Yeah, it works.
The Premisode. Whoa-sode.
Jeff, you can pre-order it right now. Now! I think I've watched that maybe like 70 times, no joke, just to that one part.
London went over to me, Daddy, why did you explode?
I love the the sound effects, the echo. Yeah, Dan did an amazing job with that.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
it was Dan from the YouTube channel Console Wars did our video.
Mm-hmm.
And his humor is about as dorky as ours, so it works perfectly.
And if you don't have any idea what we're talking about, go to the Premium Edition Games YouTube channel and watch our direct where we announce our initial games.
We actually had a big reason why we were coming back, right?
That's right.
What is that, JP? Why did we come back?
Well, all of us kind of started a new company because we all have so much free time on our hands that we figured why not, add something else to our plates. And as you all know, we all love the Nintendo Switch. We all love talking about it. And I always say, what's better than talking about physical games? Making them. So we're happy to announce here on the Playcast, especially if you have not been following us on social media, we have started Premium Edition Games, a Nintendo Switch physical publishing company.
Oh, yeah. The irony is like, even before JP and I started the Switchmania Playcast, we were talking about doing physical games. Like, we were with developers and everything, and Midwest Gaming Classic, which was the first panel we did together before there was a Playcast, and we were working on the ideas behind the backbone that would turn into Premium Edition, and it's crazy.
I have to say, though, that the convention in September that you had flight issues and couldn't attend, I remember we were having a panel talking about limited companies and physical games, and when you didn't show up, I was just like, I know, about the companies, but could I really talk for, 45 minutes to an hour? And now I fast forward, I'm like, that panel would be so different today now that we have this perspective on this side of the pond. And it's just like, I want to do that panel again, next year where we've already been operating, with releases for a while. And I just can't imagine like that kind of conversation, because it would be so different.
Oh, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be too easy. Like, it's crazy, too, because, like, could JP talk for 45 minutes? Come on now. Oh,
you know what? I can't, because I say everything in 10 because I don't stop. So
That's true.
I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, my God, I went through the entire spiel, and it was only like 10 minutes had gone by, and I'm just like, oh, that's not good. Jeffrey knows how to, like, reel me in.
You have to pace yourself, relax, breathe. Most importantly, breathe.
No.
And just take it one step at a time.
Not our JP. Not our JP.
I think by now we all know that when I get excited about something, I kind of just forget to stop, breathing and just keep going, because I love run-on sentences, apparently.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
run-on paragraphs.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm used to doing like maybe 6 to 12 conventions a year, and with COVID it's crazy because I'm not able to, and it sucks. Right. And like, I've been doing a couple of online ones, and so I did one that was associated with Long Island retro gaming last week, and it was called Uplink, and it was super cool. There was RGT85 was there, 8-Bit Eric, as well as other craziness, like, I don't know, old Destiny FOMO was there. Classic. That's a Switchmania Playcast classic. We were doing a couple giveaways with her last year, which was fun. But yeah, so myself and 8-Bit Steve, which, by the way, 8-Bit Steve is working on the strategy guides for Premium Edition games.
That's right.
We were talking about Friday the 13th on the NES, since he did a guide on that I have published, which should be arriving soon to ship out. But yeah, he literally beat Friday the 13th alive on the panel.
Wow.
His book's
That's
called
impressive.
The Easy Way. He literally goes, "Here's how you do it," and he shows everyone, and it was just super cool. And that was all while JP is freaking out about launching a new publishing company.
Yeah, I think now's a good time for our new listeners because we want to thank everyone who returned to listen to our latest episode. But there's also going to be new ones because we have this now up on our website, premiumeditiongames.com. Ding, and we have. If you watch the direct, you'll understand what that means. We won't spoil it here, but on our website, we have our old episodes and. What's really nice is that we're able to add a new segment now to this show, which is about our company, which we'll get to later. But for those who this is the first time,
you're talking about it right now.
Yes.
What have we been doing for the last one?
But I mean, what we're going to be normally talking about. So I just want to give a quick overview for those who have never listened to the Switchmania Playcast. What we do is we normally pick one game that we all play, or at least 2/3 of us play, and maybe even 1/3 of us play, and we talk about it. Normally, maybe the developer will provide us with the code. Sometimes it's a new release game that we all just happen to pick up, so we talk about that. We like to talk about what's new in the world of the Nintendo Switch. We talk about some upcoming releases, what came out that we picked up this week, and we used to talk about a lot of the Switch Collector Volume 1, which is a physical book that chronicles the physical games of the Nintendo Switch, as well as digital-only titles that really deserve a physical, and other good stuff. But now that that book is out and you can buy it on our website or at HagensAlley.com.
He's not breathing, JP.
Breathing.
I did want to give a heads up that as a first time for listeners, the Switch Collector is up on Premium Edition Games and on Hagen's Alley, but there's only about 40 copies on each site that's left for the total print run. So those that have been waiting out, there's not that many left. You're talking a large print run. There's only 80 copies total left. So if you've been waiting, holy cow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can you believe next month is a year since we launched the Kickstarter?
Dude, that's crazy. And we still don't have the wooden book covers in hand. I gotta say that. I get people asking me, "Have you shipped my book?" I'm like, dude, you backed the limited edition. Your books are here. I have the books in my garage where I would do all my woodworking and everything, but I'm like, I don't have the covers so I literally had to wait for the box maker. The maker spaces in Arizona were closed, so he actually bought the equipment himself so he could work on it. He got it all, and now I sent him a book because I'm like, hey dude, here's the book with the slipcase so you can get everything measured. He's like, well, thank goodness you did that because with the slipcase it would have been 1/8 of an inch too short. So he fixed it all. Now he's making adjustments, which he can do, and he's building it all. And then he's going to ship it. Now, when he ships it, just listeners and the backers, when he ships it, it takes 6 to 8 hours to ink each of these covers for me and stain them and all that. So you're talking with 20 covers, that's over 100 hours of inking and staining I have to do, on top of what I'm doing here with the Premium Edition Games and the Playcast. So it's going to take a while, people.
Just a little while.
Hey,
there's my update.
Jeff, we get it. You're a writer.
I am. I'm talking about woodworking here, Barry. I'm just saying, creating a woodworking. Oh goodness, trying to poke me already, Barry.
Well, come on, that's your favorite review.
Yeah, so to those who are newer listeners again, we've had a couple of comments on Apple Podcasts where they're like, we get it, you're a writer. It's because we were promoting the book almost every week. Nonchalantly, JP would go into diatribes. It was great.
That's true, I would. Listen, if we don't even comment that Jeffrey's a writer, you shouldn't be commenting. No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
But I think we really should talk about the big thing of the week. It was very impactful. It's possibly life-changing for all of us.
Oh, are we talking about the game of the week? The dollar challenge? What
No. We even have a dollar challenge, which we'll.
I got some NES games in. Are we talking about that?
No. I think we're talking about this company called Premium Edition Games.
What is that?
Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
No, you haven't? Okay. Well, I think we should tell everybody about it, because here's the really nice thing about having a weekly playcast is you will hear from us. There's not going to be any, gaps of silence. This is where you find us, whether it's social media, on Discord, you email us, or you listen to our Switchmania Playcast every week. You're going to get to know about the company, what's going on, the statuses, and that's a really great opportunity for us to connect with all of you.
And you know what's great, JP?
Yeah.
I don't edit this thing. Like, I'll do some balancing of the audio, like, before we upload it to Apple Podcasts and everything, and Anchor, where everybody can leave a voice message. I do a little bit of audio balancing, add some music at the front and the end, and that's it!
That's true. So if we say something really wrong about our company, just, screenshot it and play it back for us later.
Screenshot it, right?
Yeah, screenshot it.
Screenshot the audio.
Screenshot audio. I don't know. People will find a way. People will find a way.
Oh, JP.
Screenshot his audio.
when you're not busy screenshotting audio,
That's right.
One of the greatest things is there's so many. There are a lot of companies out there, a lot of different publishers, but a lot of them don't always communicate. And that's something that, as fans, as gamers, as collectors, just like everyone out there, we've been discouraged by that. There's times where, hey, is this game going to come out? Hey, what's going on? And we don't want to do that. We want to open up that communication line with everybody, whether you're a customer or you're just a fan. And I think that's something unique about the Playcast, is that we can really reach out. We can talk to everybody, and they get to hear weekly updates. They get to, get to know us. And again, like you said, Discord, email, social media, we're on it. We're doing our best to keep up with the conversation. And I think that's something that makes us a little bit unique versus some other places.
And guess what? Guess what, Barry? Yeah. Let's do the elephant in the room.
Oh, should we do the elephant?
We've saw the comments. Shipping was high. Like, I got it, dude. I got it. So JP was like, "Oh no, let's do this. Let's do that." So we looked at everything, and I'm like, "Hey, no, we did the measurements. We did the weight. We looked on the site. Oh crap. It defaulted to £1 for every single game," and we're like, no! So I went and put it back down to what it actually is, so it was like 4 ounces less. But guess what 4 ounces did, everyone? It opened up another shipping option, which like almost cut shipping in half, and we're like, holy cow. So JP's like, time to post a post, and JP's so happy when he gets to do that anyway.
I felt all official. I was like, we had our first mistake. Like, we're in this now. Like, you're not a company until you have to post, like, oopsie, like, our bad.
Oopsie. Let's talk about oopsie, JP. Oh, no, we got to talk about oopsie because there's a story we need to talk about making a mistake.
All right. So, as everybody will know, actually,
I'm just saying though. By the way, before we close the book on the shipping chapter, we are looking into international because that oopsie whatever had no effect on international, and we're like, it is so expensive. We know that there's really nothing we can do because like our hands are tied. However, JP and I and in conjunction, we had a phone call, but Barry knows what's going on.
That's right.
We're absolutely, we hear it. It sucks. It affects us when we're buying stuff internationally too. But we're working on it. We have some options. But by the way, just for those that are listening that haven't seen JP's email blast / posts, if you bought a copy of Super Blood Hockey and you go on there onto our site and you see that the shipping is cheaper, or you want to do the budget shipping that's a little slower, just email us. Support at premiumeditiongames.com. We'll do the math and we will reimburse you the difference because we're not making money on shipping. So we don't we support, and I said we like 7 times. We appreciate that you're supporting us. We're not trying to gouge anyone on shipping, and we see that we're like, what's going on? There was a glitch on the Daycon website. Holy crap! So all right, let's move on to Barry wanting to face punch JP. I mean Barry's thing.
JP Snafu.
JP Snafu.
Okay.
JP Snafu Mania.
So I'm going to explain what happened. So
don't say it with what had happened was
what had
good
happened
sentence.
means it's always going to be a good story.
It's always a bad story, Jake.
It's always a bad story. So here we are. We're Monday night. We're launching our website. We're launching the Direct on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And it's Monday night. We're getting everything ready. We're having our last, pregame meeting. And I'm setting up all our initial email blast because what happens is when you sign up onto our website, which I hope everybody does, so you can be kept in the loop, you get a welcome email. And it's just, thanks for joining. Here's our first game. Here's the links and everything to it. And what happened was I'm setting that up. And at the same time, I'm also setting up our press email. So this is the one that's going to go out to all the press people. It's going to let them know exactly what we're doing, who we are, so they can start putting their stories together. And it wasn't supposed to go out until I think 11:10, so like 10 minutes after our direct on Tuesday. So there I am. I'm on the screen. I'm saving it, and I'm clicking continue, and then it's like finalize. And all of a sudden, it goes out to all the press people. I have no idea how or why. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh my God, like they're going to have the links. They're going to have the assets. Like, we haven't even mentioned the company. We haven't even done anything on social media. And it's already like, what, Barry? Like midnight, a little after?
It was like around that.
Jeffrey's asleep, and I'm just like,
oh, I'm definitely asleep.
Yeah. And I call Barry. Barry's in bed, and he's just like, okay, take a deep breath. Not the end of the world. Just do a recall or, send out another update saying apologies. So I did. And what happened was one of my friends had messaged me. He's like, hey, I got, the email, like, congrats, this is awesome. And I'm like, what email? You're not supposed to have that. I was like, hold on 1 second. I send out a really quick, like, whoopsie, like, please hold on to this embargo until 11:10 a.m. And I send it out. And my friend immediately messages me. He's like, hey, got your email. What time zone is that? And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening here? So in the span of like 5 minutes, I've sent out by accident the press email, an apology email, and one more email. And I have to say, like, kudos to every single press person. Not one of them had spilled it, and I had seen that like all of them had opened it up, but they all, respected the embargo, so we were able to launch relatively smooth on Tuesday, and then after that, they were able to share. But yeah, I tell you, this is not easy.
It ain't easy being JPZ.
No,
It's JPZ. I like
that. That's ridiculous, though. The Holy Trinity email, JP.
I like that, the Holy Trinity email.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
the unholy.
All I'm thinking is, like, these people are getting these emails going, what is going on? Unsubscribe. And I'm just like, oh, that's not the first impression I wanted with everybody. But, no, everybody was cool. And, I mean, I have to say, we launched on Tuesday. We had the direct. I'm extremely happy, like, watching it, even though we had seen the video, but like watching it on our YouTube channel live and then seeing people starting to comment, it was amazing. I mean, it's just like, wow, this direct was awesome. Like, I really had a fun time recording it. Dan did an amazing job editing it, and then to just watch it, like, I literally got goosebumps where we were like, here's our first game. Oh, one more thing. And I'm just like, wow, like, these are the games we're releasing. This is crazy.
I wonder if anybody I wonder if anybody like caught the Iwata. Take a look. Like, we did that on purpose. Like a lot of stuff when I did, because I wrote the script for it a while ago, and we tweaked it like a million times. But I wanted to do the JP gets to do the Iwata stuff, and every single time on the Playcast, when we talk about Nintendo Directs, JP's like, man, they didn't do one more thing. It's like his favorite thing. JP got to do that. Like, I was like, yes.
We will always, I'm telling you now, I always want to do that. And maybe that's spoiling it, but that's just fun because, for us, it's like we announced 2 games, and I'm just like, wow, like, these are going to be 2 really fun games. And then you just, like, end with that one last one for people to watch. And what was really nice is the trailer. It was such a long, detailed trailer that it's just like, wow, this game is amazing. And then, it's been out, but there's new stuff coming to A Robot Named Fight. Yep, that's one of the games. And it was just great to end on that note.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were really excited about A Robot Named Fight, and and that was a great one more thing to have there. And everyone loves the one more thing.
Oh yeah. You know why? Because it's just like, you just get something to look forward to, and it's funny because people are like, oh, your third release is A Robot Named Fight, and we're we say summer 2021, but that's not our third release. Like, that's the fun thing, is that's a teaser for something to expect next year.
JP spoiling stuff. I love it.
I am. That's okay. Hey, they're listening. They get to hear this stuff first.
Exactly.
No, we have plans in between Pigeon Dev Collection and A Robot Named Fight, and it's going to be really cool because we'll do directs, when we have our next batch of games to announce. So we always get to do something fun like this, and what's really cool is now that people know us, we can do it live. So when we launch it on YouTube, like you're watching a Nintendo Direct, we're all gonna watch it at the exact same time.
If only we could do things live, JP. Man,
yeah, live is the best.
I know.
It is the best. But
I see people commenting and in the Discord about my comments I just made. I'm like, you're either like mind readers or something's happening.
Oh no! Oh no!
No idea.
Oh no, JP. So I think what we should do, since we have commenters and everything, is I would like to. Can I spoil something, JP?
Okay.
I want to talk about some cards.
Oh, wow, already? Okay.
I want to talk about cards. If they're listening to us on the Playcast,
then they get to hear it.
They get to hear it. And so, like, we're going to post a blog about this, probably about week 5, week 6, right before the pre-orders end. Yeah. But, like, literally, so we're doing a card, right? We said it's a special card. Well, my idea, which I always thought was cool as hell, because I'm an old-ass dude. No, not really. But
no, you were right the first time.
No. Once you said it, you can't take it back. There are going to be
old man Jeff
who are going to take pictures of that.
Oh my! I want to see memes of my crazy picture with like an old man beard or something. I don't know. But for real though, I loved back in the day playing Activision games on the Atari 2600. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, I played River Raid a ton, to the point where I set like a high score, sent it in. They sent me a patch. It says River Raiders on it. It's really cool. I still have that patch to this day. So my idea to JP, and this was like right at the beginning, was I was like, I want to do challenges, because back in the day on the Video Game Masters Club, I had the VG Masters Club Challenge. And you had to take a screenshot or do something crazy, like of Neen burn off Helmet Head from Double Dragon 2 off the side in level 1, or doing something crazy. I'm like, let's take that to the next level with Premium Edition. And so, like, we're going to have our cards. Our logo's not on the back of the cards, everyone. Now you see where I'm going with this. We're going to have developer-created challenges on the back of the card. You have to open the game to see what this challenge is. There'll be instructions on how you need to do the challenge, what it is, how you need to take it, how you need to post it on social media to properly get credit. Once you get credit, we will mail you for free a patch of the game. So you're going to get a game patch in the mail. So, like, that's the way to get the complete version of our premium edition. And it's not going to cost anybody anything because, again, we'll pay the $1 shipping or whatever to put it in an envelope and mail it out. International's a couple bucks because it's to be super light. So that is super cool. That's what we're doing, it's the premium edition challenge cards. And so everybody that's listening gets to get a first heads up on that. And so, like, JP's already anticipating that people are going to want to keep one sealed or whatever just so they can get their card, but there's going to be specific instructions on how to do it. And it's going to be super cool. And, like, honestly, I absolutely want to do that. I absolutely want that. I'm going to get a dang on premium edition games cut-off jean jacket just so I can have all of our games sewn on it. Like, mark my words, you all better
to the 80s, right?
hold me accountable to that, listeners. I need to have that jean jacket. And then we're going to have a picture. I'll have to put it on the art picture, too. So I have my little premium edition.
At conventions, we'll all have the jacket with all the patches so far.
Heck, it's got to be jean jacket for me.
Jean jacket.
It will. Well, I just love the fact that, we're getting the developers involved. They're having the opportunity to set the challenge for their game. And I think that's going to be really fun because, one, it's a challenge. I mean, whether it's a difficult challenge or it's a unique kind of challenge, it's making you play the game. It's making you enjoy it. And then you get a little reward at the very end at no additional cost aside from playing the game. And I think that's going to be super fun. I mean, I remember with Serial, you'd mail away for the toys.
JP.
And,
you do realize, though, that you're going to have to actually play the game and beat the challenge to get your patch. I'm not just giving it to you.
Right.
You got to play the game, JP.
Oh, me?
Yeah, JP.
There was a clause in there, I'm pretty sure.
A Santa Claus.
You expect JP to actually play a video game, Jeff? Are
Hey,
you feeling
you
okay?
gotta earn this. There's no gimmies here with Premium Edition. Even those that are involved in the company gotta absolutely do the challenge.
See, Jeff dropped 2 bombshells. He's like, JP, I'm gonna spoil the I'm gonna share some information about the card. Also, I'm gonna tease you a little bit. You actually have to play the game now.
Well,
That's
not a tease. I knew about that.
You know I had to play the game?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
In our discussions, I said, cool, are we going to get the patches? And Jeff said, no, none of us are. We have to do it. He said it right there. I knew about that.
Oh, you have to earn this.
I guess I just wasn't listening then.
Oh, selective listening, JP.
You know, what's funny is you mentioned those 2 as bombshells, and not the fact that we're actually live as a bombshell, which is pretty funny.
Are we live?
We
Yes,
are
JP.
absolutely
What does that mean
live.
we're live?
We're
That means
live
people are
on.
listening to us right now.
Oh, okay, this is very interesting.
People actually thinks it sounds neat too.
I figured you would have got that by the Discord messages.
He didn't get it yet. No,
He didn't get it.
We're literally
now I'm
streaming
gonna
live.
have no idea what to say. I'll be
So-
like, the Nintendo Swatch is really good.
Did the hamster like stop spinning halfway
Yeah.
through the rotation?
The hamster's like, I did not sign up for this. Goodbye.
No, but literally, like, we are streaming live for those that are listening on the podcast. We're
that's
streaming every Friday at 9 p.m.
You should probably tell me
on
this so I could share it.
the YouTube channel. I want to
I
do it
shared
as a
it and tagged
surprise just for
Yes,
the
but I mean on
first
other
30
social
minutes.
media.
I want to do just so the first 30 minutes were funny, and then now JP knows. I was
Now I'm like, I gotta watch everything I say.
oh,
Yeah.
and if you would read the Discord, JP, I posted it, and Barry's like, well, I wish I would have known. I'm like, hey, quit being a baby.
Yeah.
We're going to do
Yeah,
it.
he pretty much said we're gonna be live, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know about that. I was like, should I tell JP? I'm like, well, you didn't tell me until now.
Yeah.
And that's
Be
right there in Discord.
spontaneous. Be spontaneous.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is what people are signing up for.
That's
Oh my
right.
God.
Spontaneity. But
Crazy
also
people, great
complete.
games.
Now you know 100% listeners that JP is 100% transparent because it's not edited at all.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
heck no.
absolutely.
We don't mess. We
Even
don't
even
mess.
when I cut out or I go get the mail while we're recording and you
Oh,
hear
no.
just the sounds of the birds chirping, we don't edit that out.
I left most
Everything's
of it
in
on
there.
And about you typing up and scrolling through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may hear like at like hour 3 I start, doing other stuff, but I think what's really cool though for people who, don't know is that you can comment in our Discord and we'll, read your questions, but also on Anchor you can leave a message for us. So if you don't want to email us or, message us on social media, leave a message for us and then when we record, we'll read them and we'll answer your questions. And we'll answer everything as best to our abilities that we're able to answer your questions, we're going to. So if you have them, ask them.
That's anchor.fm/Switchmania to do that message. I mean, we've had multiple listeners do that, and I actually play it unedited. So even if they go on there and say something crazy,
Yep.
yeah, it's unedited.
I'm waiting for the I want to marry JP. Come on, it's going to happen.
I want to marry JP. What?
What?
I'm going to be so popular.
What?
I hear my daughter
Wow.
going, "No, they don't." My daughter just yelled that.
Jeff, I think this is starting to go to his head just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Oh my god. I don't know if you saw on Discord, but
Yes.
Landon Win 27 just took the picture of Jeffrey from the Black Box Challenge and put an old man beard on.
Yes, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see that later. You
I
gotta
kinda
tag
like
me.
this live feature. now.
Tag
This
me
is
on
nice.
social media. I want to see that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, don't worry. I will take that picture and I'll post it. I'll even
Nice.
send it out to all of our newsletter followers.
Hey, whoever made that, as long as you make it transparent, we'll use it on the next direct.
Oh, that's funny.
I will age during the direct or something. Old man Wittenhagen over here. Oh my!
Yeah. So
I'll
let
leave.
me ask you two something.
Take
How
out my
is-
dentures, JP.
How
All
has
right.
the first few days been for both of you since we launched? We both all have different aspects. Barry, how about with you first? You're handling support, you're handling Discord and social media. What's it been like for you?
It's been pretty interesting. Just it's really about meeting new people, and that's really what I love about this community and doing podcasts and stuff. I just love to meet new people, talk games, talk, just anything, just be friendly. And Discord has been fantastic. We've had a lot of just great people join and chat away, and we've had some really cool discussions. And just recently, people were posting collections, and that's really cool to see. And just being able to address people's issues, I think, is hugely important. And even with the emails, there have been a lot of people writing in to support at premiumeditiongames.com, and it's just been a joy talking with them because right now, I should say, I mean, I haven't had any like emails, you suck, blah blah blah. Even the ones about like international shipping, everyone's been so polite and been a joy to communicate with, and I've had so many responses back, even like, oh, thanks for actually answering me, and I was like, wow, like people appreciate that. What?
You know what the funniest one was? Is somebody wrote, it was like, Warned Collectors 2.0, and then somebody goes, you realize this is JP? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't. Bought a copy. And I'm like, what? What? Who does that?
Media side.
I was like, who does that?
When you're dealing with, and again, when you're dealing with the greater social media, now when I'm talking Discord, it's just our Discord. And when I'm talking email, it's just people emailing us. But in the greater, social media, there's always going to be criticisms. There's always the, people, oh, another collector, another company, and we need more. Do we really need this? Is this official? And I get it. JP and I are both full set collectors. We understand I can't tell you how many times I've gotten messages from JP or I get a notification JP has posted and my wallet cries and it's legit. He's like, oh, did you hear about this or this or this? I'm like, are you serious? Like, come on. Like, so I get it. I totally get it. And I sympathize. But we're not doing this to hurt wallets. We're doing this because we love physical games and we love the Switch. And for the most part, on social media, the outpouring of love has been awesome and been really nice. And of course, you're going to get people who are upset. But I think
also,
in the end of the day,
we have people that aren't set collectors, and that's fine. Like,
Of
I'm
course.
not. I'm very selective with what I buy. If you listen to the Playcast, I'm very selective. And I get it. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, we're going to be, very selective with what we release because, again, putting in thousands of hours into design work and guides on the premium deluxe because we're bringing back strategy guides and hundreds of hours into physical design on the other pieces. Like, we're not going to pick something that we're not completely in love with, like, for real.
Right. Absolutely.
And I will say what's really nice is like you said, you may even cherry pick what you're buying. And we've had people already go like, I'm looking forward to a Robot Named Fight, which is, a game in the future. And that's perfectly fine. Like, what we want is we want a catalog where there's going to be something that you're going to enjoy. And it may not be every game, and that's perfectly fine. Like, you don't have to like every game, and we honestly don't want you to feel that you have to just buy the game and then be miserable with it. We want you to enjoy the games that we put out. And if it's for you, perfectly fine. If it is, we're really happy that we get to bring it physically, because I know, even the Pigeon Dev, a lot of people were like, oh, that's awesome. I remember Awesome P1 and 2 just went on Vita and got a physical, and now we're going to get on the Switch with 2 more games. A Robot Named Fight, Super Blood Hockey. So many people were so happy about that because, one, it's a fun game that didn't have a physical. Also, it's a hockey game on the Switch. We don't have those. Like, that's awesome to be.
People don't realize it's ridiculous, and spoiler alert, it'll be our next Playcast game that we're playing. So we can give you all a tease and a taste of all the features, but like, it's ridiculous. I've obviously been playing it for a little bit. Holy cow! That's all I gotta say. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like,
I highly recommend everyone check out. On our product pages, we will have the trailers for it. What's really nice is we're I don't even know if everyone knows this, but we're going to be interviewing the people behind the game, developers, musicians. I mean, everybody that has some part of making that game happen. You're going to get to learn more about them, and I think that's also what makes our venture really exciting, is that we just want everyone to have that holistic view. Not just,
actually, JP, that was kind of a spoiler over the last couple weeks because no. It was kind of a spoiler that we had on the Playcast for listeners because Barry's been doing industry talk for like years. And it's literally like a predecessor. Now the industry talk is going to be with the industry that we're helping establish with the developers from the games that we're publishing. Like, it's going to be meta. And Barry's he's been doing it.
And what's one thing that I've just over the years of doing it is
Mm-hmm.
you gain a new appreciation for
Yep.
for any game when you hear the story of its creation and the passion behind the developers. And that's something that we want to bring to everybody.
Mhm.
You can look at the game and go, okay, that looks kind of cool, but then when you hear the passion, you hear the story about how this game came to be, and the troubles or the positives, and you see the game in a new light, and you really do have a new appreciation for it. We want to bring that. We want to connect the customers and the viewers to those developers, and really let them be a part of the whole process.
Yeah, and I can't promise that we're gonna be like crazy on every direct we do or anything like that. Like, but
Oh, we will.
the industry talks are gonna be. I mean, we have people in the comments singing "Gonna get physical." I called my daughter yesterday. My daughter yesterday. Yesterday, my daughter was out there, and I heard her go, "Let's get physical." I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I kid you not. We go in the car now, and my 2.5-year-old daughter, she's like, I listen to Sheriff Callie, Queen, and Physical every time. I mean, it's just like, and those things are gonna, like, what I really want in our directs is like a story. I really want to play off of the previous ones and keep building it, because we should get crazier. I mean, that's fun. Like, we need to enjoy what we're doing. And the minute that
one, I demand I get to come out of the cloud.
I really think that what should happen, we should just make a comment being like, a talking cloud is weird. Can we have a face and just like pop in a random face on it?
No, screw that. I'm falling
Yes!
out of the cloud.
Creepy face like on Teletubbies. That's what we want.
Teletubby.
I want to see a
I'm falling
picture,
out of that
everyone.
damn cloud.
We got Old Man Wittenhagen, now I want Creepy Barry Teletubby Cloud.
I hate you so much.
Get Sarumara on this now.
Saru, yes, Saru.
Saru still needs to do a freaking drawing of me, damn it.
Yes,
He's
he
I
supposed to do all of
guarantee you,
us.
I could get Teletubby Barry faster. Teletubby
Oh
Cloud
my
Barry.
god.
I'm waiting for someone in the Discord to just pop on
Oh,
a
God.
face. No, we are. I definitely want to make those really fun. I mean, if they are literally just like,
Yeah.
hey, here's our games, goodbye. No, that's not something that even we want to be watching. So they're gonna get crazy, and I think it's gonna be. I think the next one, if everything goes right, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like there's been some. I mean, we had ridiculousness going on before we launched, and now it's like the floodgates have opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
so JP, you do
Mhm.
marketing.
I do.
So, like, you asked Barry how he was doing. So, how are you doing with all this?
What?
Yeah. Barry, did you feel you got to say everything?
Absolutely. Go for
Okay.
it, JP.
Yeah, so I love marketing. That's what I majored in for school. That's what I want to be. That's what I do in my job in a different capacity. But this kind of marketing is exactly what I want to be doing, and it's a lot. It's a lot more than I thought it would be, because it really isn't just posting on Twitter, which I normally do for the JP Switchmania channel. But this is like learning all new things to get in front of our customers and people who may become our customers one day. And that's learning the different softwares. That's making sure you're approachable and you're present on other social media channels. That's the newsletters, the press list, which, I mean, it was crazy. I wrote a press list that went out that got published on press sites and whatnot. And it's like, wow, my name is attached to that. And I'm really proud about that. So for me, this is exactly what I always envisioned wanting to do. And now that I have that opportunity, I'm not going to waste it. I treat this like it's a job, and I already work an 8 to 5 job. So this is literally in between those moments of my kid sleeping and when I have to, sign into work. But I'm eat, sleep, and breathing this right now, and I love it. And also, the reaction from the community has just been so great, because they got to know me over the past 2 years with my channel and the Switchmania Playcast and the Switch Collector Volume 1 book. So we have a track record already, and people who know us know that we are not Awarn collectors. If we say we're delivering something, you better believe it's going to happen, because I would never do that to the people that have become my friends or to the community that's welcomed all of us. So that, I feel, is really nice when I see people kind of like stepping up and saying, this is JP, this is Jeff, this is Barry, like, you're good. And, our first game is on pre-order right now. You will be getting it. And then our second game will be in hand. And that's how we hope to go moving forward. But yeah, so just jumping back a little to me, I don't sleep at all. I think I've slept at most like 2 hours a night.
You don't breathe at all either.
I don't breathe. I don't eat. I don't sleep. But it's been worth it. I mean, I absolutely love this. I mean, my whole heart is into this company. I want this to succeed for us and also for the community, because when we succeed, it just strengthens, I think, all the other companies that are going to come after us and all the ones that are already here. It's just, it's another positive face in the community producing physical games, and that's really what I want us to be.
A positive face like Teletubby Cloudberry. Somebody has asking in the chat.
See how I segue into that?
Speaking of Jeff and his asshole-ish ways sometimes, how are you doing with everything?
Oh my gosh. Oh, so I am like what we call a weekend warrior for the company, because I almost have to be, because I'm working from like 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. For my normal job. Like, it's crazy. I do have lunchtime where I can do some sync up meetings and things. So I'm basically writing all the contracts, doing all the back end. If there's anything jacked up with the site, like a glitch, probably my fault. But I'm also doing all the design work, the layouts for the games, talking with developers, doing craziness when it comes to syncing with all of the different sides. It's a bit overwhelming, but I love it. I'm OCD, so it's kind of my solace, actually, because if I wasn't doing this, and it's kind of why I was drawn to doing the collector books and all that too, I would probably be driving my wife nuts by like being OCD around the house and cleaning and stuff. So instead, I just pour my life into the hobby and have fun.
I need you to come over here and clean.
No. You don't want me over there, because remember, I was a former drill sergeant in the Army, and I would make you clean it and do a white glove inspection, Barry.
Get off my property.
Oh, but yeah, so it's been crazy. I love the support, and y'all haven't seen, and I said y'all because I was in Texas last year. Y'all, honestly, there's so much more to come. Like, there's been so many amazing meetings that JP and I and Barry, we've all been having, that it's been ridiculous, and it's super exciting. It's hard not to talk about it, actually, but that's why we're live, JP.
What's really cool is that with our direct, we get to talk about a few of the games at a time, and then it's all out there, and that's what I really like, because it's not just one at a time and then you're waiting. It's more like, here's one that's now, and here's some to expect later, and you don't necessarily know exactly when later. You have a time frame, and I mean, just like you said, the meetings we're having, everything falls into place. I mean, I am super excited, because these are games that I see and I'm just like, I want a physical. How does this not have a physical? And it's also games we hear about all the time in the community. So to have that chance where it's like, wow, we actually may be doing this physically, that's crazy.
And we have JP, so when people complain about shipping, JP goes, how do I do it? Oh, I know like 27,000 people. And so we start so we're talking with people. So we're literally trying to figure out how to benefit all international shippers. Like, we want to. And we're here for you guys too, and girls. Like, we are absolutely here for the community.
The one thing
we're different
I'll
beasts.
say is that,
and because of that, we are going slow, everyone. Like, don't expect us to be like, oh yeah, by the way, in between Super Blood Hockey and Pigeon Death, there's something else. No, there's not. And honestly, we'll never go faster with the premium deluxes, because we're making hardcover strategy guides for every single premium deluxe that we're doing. And those take a while. And the last thing we want is a bunch of people waiting because the books are taking a while and we had a printing delay or something. Like, we're probably going to offer split shipping or something so people can get their premium deluxe, everything but the book first, or do some other options. Like, we're going to have to do some options, because really we don't want anybody to have to wait to play our games. Something.
That's
Crazy. I think we should move on. We were sidetracked for a while there.
Well, that's the first time we get to talk, on the show about the company.
It's true.
But yeah, let's. Why don't we move into the game of the week?
Yeah, because we have the game of the week still. We have news. There's been a bunch of news. We got the dollar challenge.
No dollar challenge this week.
Oh, I got a dollar challenge. Okay.
You guys said no, so I didn't do it this week.
See what happened? Jeffrey wins by default. Or
yes!
does he not, maybe? Maybe his game is so bad that we still win.
I do have a cool game to talk about, so we'll win. I'll win by default, but it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I can still lose by default, honestly. But yeah, that's what we're gonna go over. So let's do the game of the episode.
Paint the wallpaper.
The game of the episode is called, as everybody can see, Paper Mario and the Origami King. It is a cross-genre video game developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo for the Switch console. It's the 6th game in the Paper Mario series, part of the larger Mario franchise. Surprise, surprise. It's actually the sequel to Paper Mario Color Splash, and, they're doing gimmicks now every time when they do a Paper Mario. So from the colors to the sticker stars, now we have the Origami King with all the folded paper aspects. The story follows Mario and his friends as he sets out on a journey to prevent the Mushroom Kingdom from being transformed into origami. To do so, Mario must free the castle from 5 streamers, literally streamers, not YouTube streamers, but across all the kingdom. The gameplay bends elements of action, adventure, role-playing, and puzzle games, featuring a large overworld with turn-based enemy and boss encounters that utilize a ring-based puzzle system. It was released on July 17th, which we would have done earlier if we didn't take our break, but we definitely wanted to take a break to really have an awesome launch. And received positive critic reviews. Has it, though? Yes, it has. However, others have criticized the combat as unrewarding and sometimes frustrating. So, essentially, it was directed by Masahiko Nagaya. I messed that one up. And produced by Kenzuki Tanabe and Atsushi Ikuno. Really cool to have some of the similar producers and directors that are involved with Nintendo heading up this. And so let's go. We'll start this one out with JP. How did you do with this game?
Really? So, I found the game a little pedantic. No, I'm just kidding. I have not played this. Surprise, surprise. I just did not have time.
You had one job.
I had one job in 4 weeks to play this game, and I did
don't
not.
think JP
but
has one job.
I own it. I mean, that counts for something, right?
No, not when you're a full set collector.
Fair enough. So I am going to pass the baton on to Barry this week, and I promise you next week I will have played Super Blood Hockey.
Well, yeah, of course.
If you don't play Super Blood Hockey, Barry's going to come to your house, drive over there, and check you like a hockey stick or something.
Well, he has to open the door first.
That's true.
It's true.
So yeah, I started this game unsure. The treehouse didn't really win me over, but I wanted to give it a fair chance. And I realized very quickly I hated the boss system, and I wasn't a fan of the combat, but I absolutely loved everything else. And everything else was so good that I wanted to push. I wanted to push past everything, and I found myself not minding the battles as it went on, and some of the bosses I didn't even mind either. Some of them were just real pains in the butts, but I stopped looking at it as an RPG and started looking at it almost more like a Zelda game, really. Mm-hmm. Zelda with puzzle elements, like battle puzzle elements. And I actually really started to fall in love with the game. The characters, the dialogue, the world, exploring the world was just a lot of fun. I love how every area has a checklist, and you can 100% each area, and you see your status as you're going along, and it tells you when you've gotten, all the toads rescued in that area, or you filled up all the holes. And the equipment that you get, it helps make the game easier, and I really appreciate that, but you don't have to use it. So you can use equipment to give you more health in every battle, more time to decide on the rings, more defense when you block, but you don't have to use those. They're there. You can buy them and use them to make the game easier, or you can not touch it at all if you want it a little bit harder. I used it. I just wanted to play and have fun. And some of the bosses were honestly very unique. They were crafty. They were, no pun intended. They were just well designed. And the writing cannot be understated on this. It is so well written. There's emotion. There's drama. It's one of the few Mario games, if not, that I can really think of that actually has death, lasting death, and it becomes a theme. And I was like, wow, this is really dark for a Mario game. This is actually getting me tearing up. it's a well done adventure. It doesn't overstate its time. By the time you're ready to finish the games at the end, but it has so many cool, unique ideas. Like one chapter, it's literally Wind Waker. You're on a boat. You have to explore the ocean. You explore the different islands. You chart. There's treasure underneath the water. I was like, holy crap! Then you find an area and you have to do 3 challenges: power, wisdom, and courage. And of course, they are the corresponding Zelda colors: red, blue, and green. And it was like, wow, this is really cool. This is not what I was expecting in a Paper Mario. So I completed like all the areas minus 1 trophy, because I didn't feel like fighting all the battles again, because that was like all the bosses. That was my least favorite thing.
Mhm.
And overall, though, yeah, like if you get past and you the battle system, and you definitely push past it a little bit until you get to the real meat of the game. If they make it easier, they tell you solutions, they give you more time, and you could just really power through it. The one other aspect I didn't really like was the weapon breaking. In the end, it didn't really matter. I wound up with a bunch of extra weapons, like hoarding them just in case. So yeah, I do recommend it very much. Like it is an awesome game, and I am terrified of what the fuck did you just make? Oh my god, that is terrible.
Language.
Yeah,
no
language.
No cursing. No cursing.
Oh no, that one deserves a
Language.
curse.
I don't even
That
know what
is
you're
a
talking about.
Jeffrey,
monstrosity.
did you see the image?
That is
Yeah.
a monstrosity. That
Landon Win
absolutely.
27 just put a Barry Cloud Teletubby overlay on
That
top
is
of each other.
Oh.
terrible.
Oh, I
That
hope
is-
I hope that is
I'm
transparent.
having nightmares.
That's going on the next playcast.
Having nightmares.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
Oh,
Barry,
that's amazing.
Congratulations,
I
you
just
are
left.
now on the image.
No,
We have Barry's image now for the next direct for Premium Edition.
no, Landon, I'm very disappointed in you.
Watch, Landon, I apologize in advance when Barry bans you now.
I'm very disappointed in you.
I want to give him a patch. That deserves a patch.
Oh no! You know what? You deserve nightmares for that. No, that is terrible.
Teletubby.
You didn't even play the game. You just
So back to Paper Mario.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Jeff, why don't you go now that I've
Yes.
been deeply disturbed and possibly scarred?
I like this live feature. This is great.
So, with my aspects for Paper Mario, it's interesting because I'm kind of a polar opposite of how Barry felt. Like he said that he fell in love with it the more he played it, and mine was more every time, because I can only play games in stints. Every time I found it difficult to go back, because so I would play through an entire section chapter. So I go versus one of the, vellums or whatever they're called, vellumentals or whatever they are, which essentially that's how you get your next ability, which you go over these spots on the world, and then one will pull out giant arms and you can hammer things, or another one does water, or there's some other stuff. And so you go through to that, and then you go versus one of the bosses, which one of the bosses are interesting because it's a pencils or something. Actual looks like real colored pencils and stuff, which is crazy. So I would play through each one like that. So I played through a section and a session, and I played for an hour or two at a time. And every time I would go back, I'm like, I don't know if I want to play it now. I was getting, let me go work on some Premium Edition game stuff. That's every time, because I'm like, it was the battle system. And it was absolutely not... I enjoyed the actual boss battle system, because at that point, I had played so many of the normal ones, I'm like, oh, please, I just don't want to see the random layouts. Because either they were super simple, move one space over and it's obvious, or it's so complex that I was like, ugh, this is gross. And then if you don't get it right, you only get normal attacks, and then you can't just wipe out everybody fast, and usually you're fighting battle after battle if you can't avoid well. So I started avoiding every battle except for the ones where there's a little joke or something going on with a toad or something else, or there's an enemy there and he looks over at you and then it jumps at you and attacks you or does other stuff. But That's my only issue with the game is the battle system. The problem is that is the core of the game, the core gameplay. The story, the graphics, the music, every other aspect is like A+ material. It really is. It's great. The humor is hilarious. The fact that there's a million Toads is a little bit weird. Like I really wish they would allow the developers to create unique characters again, like they did with Paper Mario on the GameCube. Thousand Year Door. I would love for them to be able to do that. I heard via rumors on the internet that they're only allowed now to do like Toads and stuff, and they had a little bit of Leo at this game, and that's why they did all the origami stuff because it was free reign. It's interesting seeing Princess Peach as a soulless evil thing. Yeah, really crazy. But like that was what kept me coming back every time. It's like, all right, I want to see more of the story though, because it's crazy. And then old Babam, which the your little helper kept calling Bobby, was hilarious for a while. And I think I only got through maybe if you're calling each boss battle a chapter, I was probably on like the third chapter, the third main boss battle.
Each of the utensils was pretty much like the streamers.
Yeah.
As a chapter.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think I was heading on to the third streamer or something. So I just couldn't go back because of the battle system, and that's unfortunate. Like literally, if it had turn-based battles, just like a classic Mario and Luigi or Paper Mario game, the original few, it would have been so much more streamlined, and then go crazy with the boss battles and do all that crazy, that grid stuff with the boss battles. Okay, cool. We might have just been like, well, the boss battles were a little weird, but everything else was great. Like, and that's my mentality is like, man, they just missed the mark because the main battle system's a little clunky. And it's just a little slow. Every time you go to it, you got to go through, do your little puzzle every time instead of just getting into the battles and going through the fight. And there's a bit of breakage with some of the items, like Barry mentioned. That didn't bother me. I still used everything because, number one, I had like tons of coins, and you can go buy them too. I found plenty, though. I found plenty on the overworld. I did like that if you hit everything with your hammer, kind of like if you bomb everything in The Legend of Zelda, you find tons of treats. Like, there's a hole, hit the wall, and then a little toad falls out. Or there's a butterfly, smack the butterfly with your hammer, and a toad comes out. Everything a toad comes out, essentially. But there was one spot you go into this kitchen, and then like all of a sudden like bugs go everywhere, and you have to like fumigate the area. And
they were little Goombas,
little Goomba bugs that you had to go and destroy. And it was like there's so many little cool stuff that you got to do that was fun. But then I got, the whole aspect where I just didn't enjoy playing the crux of the game, the battle system. I didn't get past the evolution in the game in the middle or whatever to help unlock things. But in reality, they shouldn't have to give you advantages to help make the battle system more streamlined. They should just streamline the battle system. Like
that I agree with. And you're right at that point where they give you the stuff. You're right at the chapter where things like really open up, and you have a lot less battles that you actually have to fight.
But I mean, do I recommend it or not? I would not get it at full price. $60, that's a big one. Especially if you're gonna get discouraged by the battle system. But for the story, yes, it's amazing. It's hilarious. It's great. And that's the hard part. It's a big juggle. If you love RPG stuff, like you can get through the battle system, you're gonna love this game. But if you're just a casual fan, this might drive you nuts with the battle system. It's a little bit harsh, and I think it was Wood from Beat 'em Ups was on his YouTube, and he was saying how he didn't like it, and he got like a lot of hate and dislikes for it. And I'm like, I kind of agree with Wood, and his points were very valid, and I was like, exactly what I'm saying here on the Playcast. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of not a big fan. I love the art style, love the music, love everything else. It's just the aspect of the battles. Man.
I mean, that's perfectly fine not to like certain aspects, and even not to like a game. I mean,
of course it is.
The people getting mad at that is kind of silly. Everyone has opinions, But I do think, even if you don't want to do it full price, I do think you should give it a shot just to see. The battles might drive with you. I've talked with other people and said they loved the battles and they loved the boss battles, and that was their favorite part. It was polar opposite of me.
Some people's trash, Barry. Some people's
Yeah,
trash.
that's very true. But I think the rest of the game makes up for it 100%. Like I said, like that Wind Waker chapter was awesome, and it was so cool, and it kind of scratched that itch for another like Mario, almost like a Mario platformer. It almost felt like, with all the collectibles, it felt like a 3D Mario platformer in a lot of ways.
Honestly, if they would have just removed the battles, that would have been like just had boss battles. Oh, it'd be so good. Maybe they're gonna do an update. Nintendo, do an update. Get rid of make the battles optional.
When you do go back to older areas, you can just like jump on the Goombas and it's instantly, and like you just instantly kill them. So there is that, at least. Of course, if you miss your jump, then you're going to the battle with a weak Goomba and stuff like that.
Just imagine if they got rid of the battles, because I mean, again, like we neither of us mentioned this, but you really don't get any kind of XP for battling.
No, none.
You just waste items, so it's like you waste items, take damage, and you get some coins.
You can use the standard hammer and the jump, which never breaks.
Yeah, of course, but then they're weak.
Well, I went through without using anything but them, and I was fine. So you can get through. There is the way you do get stronger, because you do get stronger in the game, is by finding these HP up hearts, which increase your max HP from 50 all the way to 200, and the more of those you get, the stronger you are. That's really what signifies how much damage you're gonna do. So and a lot of them are really cleverly hidden. It's like the first one you get just by doing it. Some you get by doing little puzzles. There's one that's really interesting where underneath the water you find a can. It's like a food can, like a tuna can, and then you have to bring it to an NPC who will open the can, and inside is a dried heart, and then you have to go to like this lake that rehydrates things, and then rehydrate the heart, and then you can finally gain the benefit of it. So there's a lot of like Zelda puzzle aspects in that regards too.
That's the most fun part of the game, is all those pieces. Man.
Oh yeah.
Give us a patch, Nintendo. So that concludes Paper Mario. I don't think we did a poll or anything, did we, JP?
We did not.
No. So our next game is going to be Super Blood Hockey.
Yep.
Published by Premium Edition Games. But the developer is Loren Lemenke Games. And the digital publisher is Digerati. So if anybody wants to play along with us, it is available on the eShops, $14.99. It is available physically by us, but it's going to be a while before it's out. So it'll be kind of a preview, so you can all check it out. And we're not really we never really go into super spoiler territory on the Playcast for newer games. This isn't even a newer game. It came out like last year.
2 years ago? Or last year on the Switch?
Last year.
Yep.
Yeah, last year. Don't get ahead of yourself, JP. It's not year 5 yet.
Me? That was Barry.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was totally JP.
I didn't say anything. Wow,
All
he's
right.
so quick to blame me.
All right, now we need a picture of JP with the BS mark on his head. BS mark on his head.
Landon, if you're listening, do not do
yes,
do that.
Landon,
yes, do that.
Landon. Landon is now our graphical artist for the Premium Edition Games and Switchmania Playcast. Yeah.
Okay,
and we got to assume though a lot of people are going to wait for the Premium Edition version to come out, which is great because we're gonna go over all the different features, and there's a lot. I've been playing only simple ones, like as I've been getting excited for the release, and I'm gonna dig into all the modes. There's a lot of modes to this game. Like you're talking strategy sim RPG style craziness. Like it's insane. Like I love it, and I'm a big I watch hockey, and I'm a big hockey fan. With my wife and I watch Chicago Blackhawks. I'm originally from Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, so we're big Hawks fans. We don't watch religiously, but we watch during like playoff time and have some fun with it. And so this is NES hockey, so it's gonna be a fun one to play. So definitely check us out next week when we're doing that.
Yes.
we do have some news to go over since we've been recording. I wrote down a few things that have been goings-ons. We still are going to go over probably what we got in. I had one game since we took a break, which is great.
I had 2, I think. It was a slow week.
Yeah, and
Which is good.
we got
Since we
a...
got
and then JP has to do his Micro Machine Man style, no breath, what's coming out that he does every time. So, for the news piece, though, so first of all, during the break, I actually started playing some more Ring Fit. We started at the beginning of 2020, before COVID, doing Ring Fit. And so I did some Ring Fit. There's actually been an update to the game outside of the DDR style, like, music games. There was one issue that I had while I was working out, because, I mean, I work out, too, for my main job. And, like, literally, you'd be doing these weird, like, yoga poses or, you know, doing these left side, right side workouts. And then when the enemy dies, it would just stop. Mm-hmm. Now, you have to fully complete your repetition. So, say you're doing 20 left side yoga poses and 20 right side yoga poses. You have to do all of them before the enemy will explode. So, like, you literally get to complete your sets, complete your reps. Because otherwise, it was kind of unbalanced when you're actually trying to work out, which was interesting, right? So, that was super cool. I played for a while, like a couple weeks, and I stopped again, JP style. I've been doing a lot of playcasts, not a lot of playcast stuff, a lot of premium edition stuff that distracted me over the last week or so. I doubt either of you went to Ring Fit.
No.
You would be right.
I would be right. So another interesting thing that I did around here was I made a modification to my collection. I posted an old piece in our Discord channel because we have the Premium Edition Games Discord channel. I posted my collection and Bear's like, oh, you're going to run out of space for front-facing soon. And I said, oh, no, I won't, because I made a modification. So I literally now am doing a best of my favorites with the Switch collection. And so I'm going to have 4 rows, no matter what. The bottom row on my collection is my bucket list stuff. So it's the 7 games that I want to get to playing. One of them is Iron Fury, and I've been messing around with that game. It's like Duke Nukem with a female protagonist. Really fun so far. So that's the bucket list game that I'm playing on the side. But the other 3 rows that are all spine-facing now are my best of the best, and then everything else, I have a whole bottom row that my daughter has her 7 favorite games at the bottom, and then I have all the extras behind that. Until that fills up right now, I get a good solution. So it's cool because I like the front-facing because it reminds me of a video game rental store. I love that. And so, like, I get to look at all the amazing stuff, like the Link's Awakening with the new manual from a, Switch collector member, physical Switch collector member, that we may have talked about multiple times on the Playcast.
Maybe.
Maybe. So, I got that facing forward. I put all the items that are cool that I can display in front of it on the shelf, like manuals or trinkets, tchotchkes, keychains, statues, amiibos. I did some custom perlers for Bloodstained. They're up. Like, I did a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm making the collection my own, which is super fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
You mentioned rental, and did you hear recently what's happening with the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon?
No.
They're turning it into who are they partnering with? They're literally turning it into like an Airbnb where you can reserve it to stay over in this Blockbuster that they're converting a little bit to have a bedroom that's like 80s, 90s style, and then I think you have access to the entire actual Blockbuster. And so they have like a VHS thing set up. They have like old school sheets. I mean, it looks awesome. And when you mention rental, I'm just like, they still exist. There's still one out there.
Last one.
The last one. Yeah, it's crazy.
So, so traditional news.
Fill me in.
The Nintendo Switch outsold the Super Nintendo for all-time sales, and it's so it was hot on the trails of the NES that it's likely surpassed it by the time that we recorded this.
It did.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
They announced it. I thought just
No, they announced it and that it was like very, very close. It was like 61 million to 61 million. But that was up until June 30th, and it's August 14th at this point, so
Yeah.
it surpassed it.
Yeah, there's no way. So that's ridiculous. It is slowly creeping up on the Nintendo Wii. It would be interesting to see at this point how it compares now to the best-selling console of all time.
Mhm.
Now, it would be interesting, too, because I didn't see in those articles if it compares it to the handheld market as well and, like, combine everything, because there were some huge selling handhelds that might be comparable. But Switch is doing great. It's doom and gloom. It's not going to sell, everyone.
No. Nintendo is dead. They should go third party.
That is exactly what they said in year one. It's great. That's why JP and Barry started set collecting for this.
I started because I thought it was gonna be like the Wii U.
It's
and
going to be easy.
Wrong. My one shelf is like the Wii U collection. I mean, like, it's crazy. But I will say, Nintendo Soup had put out, they said although the Switch's actual worldwide sales are likely well over 62 million, since Famitsu only accounts for Japanese hardware sales, that figure already brings it past the NES lifetime sales of around 61.9 million. After the NES, the Switch's next target would be the GBA, which sold 75.87 million units in its lifetime. I think it's going to pass it.
Oh yeah, easily.
Ridiculous. I love it, though.
I don't know what happened. I guess I just picked the winning horse, because I got into, and we always talk about this, but I did not get into full set collecting, and I did it early on because I was like, oh, there's like 5 games at launch. That's doable. Let's start from the beginning. And I look at my shelf and I'm like, I get like 5 games a day now. Like, that's just ridiculous. But I love it. I love this. We all love the Switch.
I love taking pauses now too, where I'm like, oh look, that Samurai Jack game that limited run just pushed up looks awesome. I'm going to wait.
Well, you have time with the pre-order anyways. To wait.
I'm still gonna wait for a while. I'm literally to the point where I'm still on my buying freeze, where I'm only buying very few games right now. And so even like when I get stuff in, it's usually old school pre-orders. And so like I'm being very selective, but I put everything in a, guidebook spreadsheet, so that way I can literally buy them later. Sometimes I'm probably going to overpay if it turns into like a Lovers, like Super Rare does. But other sides, it's like, okay, so that $50 Samurai Jack, if it goes to Best Buy or somewhere, it's going to come down in price. Or people will offload it later, and I'll be able to buy it at least at cost. And if I can't, then I'll pay extra if I really want it.
What does suck is like places like GameStop will not actually take in limited run games used. So that does eliminate a lot of the outlets that could possibly be selling those games.
True. It's very true. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see with my mentality how many games I get screwed over on. But
I have to say though,
this has given me a time to enjoy some of my games and not constantly go, man, I got another game and I can't play.
And I will say the community has been very good. Like, we're all 3 of us are in a very good Facebook group, and I have yet to really see someone who has asked the community, be like, hey, I missed out on this, or does anyone have this for sale? Typically, there is somebody out of those like 8,000 and plus growing members that's like, yeah, I got an extra one, or I'm getting out of collecting. Like, which one do you need? So, like, that's what I really like. Like, for the first time for me, I'm part of a video game community I never was before, and I see that many people really do have no problem helping and wanting to help. And it's really nice because you don't end up overpaying. You don't have to go to an eBay or a scalper. It's more like, hey, I don't need it anymore. Just pay what it costs plus shipping, and it's really nice. We all help each other out, and this is now, a few years going in, and there's still a lot of good people joining that group. And that's just one of many groups, but, it just goes to show, like, I think, Switch collectors really do like to help each other out.
Yeah,
you said 100%. Switch collectors.
Yeah, that's Switch. Yeah. And there's one thing about that information about the sales numbers that to me was the most holy crap moment. And it wasn't that the Switch is already at over 61 million, which is fantastic. Animal Crossing is the number 2 most selling game on the Switch at 22 plus million units in 3 months.
Like a third of people who own the Switch have
that
Animal
is
Crossing.
Insane.
But you know what though? It's not though, because Shanna, who has never played the Switch, plays just Animal Crossing. Her sister bought a Switch just to play Animal Crossing, and we keep saying it. It came out at the perfect. I don't want to say perfect because COVID is horrible, but at a time where everybody is stuck inside, this allowed everybody to connect in ways that you never thought. Like we didn't see her family for a while, and they are able to hang out on their islands. Do you know what I mean? They have people over. They talk on the phone, and unfortunately, there's no real good Nintendo voice chat. But I mean, this game just like brings people together, and then you get so engrossed in it. And like, I'm not surprised that the numbers are so high, but it's amazing to see people who have never played the Switch. Animal Crossing, that's the one that got them to buy the system.
Guess what my wife's playing right now, JP? Right now.
Animal Crossing.
That's what my wife's playing yesterday, today, every day. Animal Crossing.
Like, I'm sure it's horrible to say that my 4.5-year-old son is playing a lot of video games, but he plays Animal Crossing, and I guarantee you, between him and my wife, they put more hours, probably 10 times fold, than I put into Rocket League for like 2 straight years. My son knows how to fish. He's learning about fish. He, like, he does all these things. He gets to hang out with his aunt on an island, like, all the time. And I think that's amazing. But yeah, kudos to Animal Crossing and Nintendo.
Kudos to Animal Crossing. Now, it honestly, like we've mentioned it before in the Playcast, they couldn't have launched the game at a better time. In a pandemic where everybody has to stay at home. It's the ultimate stay-at-home game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I still have a tent, though. I don't have a house yet.
I do now as well, after my wife got rid of our original island, so I could go back to my actual Hagen Switch account. Now I only have a tent now. I'm only allowed to have a tent.
But yeah. Also, did you have other news that you wanted to bring up?
Oh yeah, what do you guys think of the Gigalink?
The Gigalink?
The Gigaleak. The Gigaleak.
Please inform me. I have been in premium edition games land for the last week or so. So you this is news to me now.
So some crazy hacker or somebody released a ton of Nintendo intellectual property. Number one, they confirmed L is indeed real in Super Mario 64. Like Luigi, they have Luigi assets from Super Mario 64 that were in now. There are promos and predecessors for Yoshi's Island. There's a whole like Super Nintendo style Donkey Kong 3 style platformer game that looks like it stars Stanley that's jumping around, and there's a weird looking Donkey Kong and stuff. Like there are prototypes of games that were unreleased. Like there are so many things that popped out. There's like different weird Pokemon things that were announced.
There's a toad smoking a cigarette.
A toad smoking a cigarette. Oh.
There's another. I forget who it was. Like flipping the bird.
Yeah. But like, there's a lot of cool different prototype pieces that we're gonna likely see. So it's really interesting to see all of this stuff come out. Does it suck that it was quote unquote stolen? Yeah. But it's cool to see that it'll be preserved. Someday maybe they'll let me and you and everyone else that's part of Premium Edition raid the warehouse, and we can write up the history of it. Like, hey, it's already out there, Nintendo. Just let us go all ham, and we'll do a whole guidebook on it. But yeah, the Gigaleak is crazy. Did you hear anything else for specifics, Barry?
In terms of specifics, let's see if I could find it here. Yeah.
There was the original Star Fox, had humans as part of your characters. It wasn't just the normal 4.
That was one of the cool things about the Star Fox information, because they really they let you listen to the unfiltered audio, which was cool. Instead of the mumbles. But yeah, here's I got a couple other things.
That is a big deal, that it was like the unedited, uncompressed audio. Wow. So like all the audio is compressed on the cartridges. Well, this is like high def. And here's the craziest thing, is that there's something called an SD to SNES cartridge that they have now, and it has this MSU1 chip on it. What the MSU1 chip allows you to do is play CD quality audio music with your Super Nintendo games live on the actual hardware. Well, imagine if you could take these unedited audio samples and play them with the original Star Fox. Like, there's options for that now. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god.
Wild. Some of the other stuff they showed off were in this leak. Dark Link was in Link's Awakening originally.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Super Mario Kart had human racers before Mario characters were added. Animal Forest, which is Animal Crossing, originally had you controlling animals in a human village as opposed to a human in an animal village. Super Mario World, the sprite of Mario with wings instead of a cape, which is probably why the feather is the item that gives you the cape. Early Super Mario World sprite of Wiggler with the dunce cap and different faces. There was an SNES unreleased game called Sleep with a sleepwalking character. There was a sequel to Super Scope 6 called Super Scope 15.
Then there's Super Scope Action 52.
The picture of Toad smoking is from Super Mario All-Stars. There's a Super Mario World sprite that has Bowser looking at the screen. Yoshi's Island had a beta version where a new transformation where Yoshi turns into a bomb.
Oh my god.
There was a Mario Kart 64 brand new track or a battle arena, they're not sure, that's never been seen. An early version of Ocarina of Time where the bottom of the well and beta versions of dungeons that we've seen in screenshots for years, magic abilities, and an unused female character. There was a cat villager and Blathers in the original Animal Forest. Because Blathers wasn't there originally. Over 40 minutes of unused music from Stunt Race FX. Majora's Mask was originally 7 days long instead of 3. Beta enemies from Ocarina of Time. Let's see. There's Super Mario World graphic. Just a few. Super Mario World graphic where Mario punches Yoshi's head instead of pointing. Super Mario 64 had an item graphics for feather, eggs, and a 10-ton weight. We actually have the Super Mario 64 development dates from this, and the original name was Ultra 64 Mario Brothers. You talked about the Super Donkey Kong game with Stanley. Human characters were in Star Fox 2, and early prototypes of crawling baby Mario in Yoshi's Island are just some of the stuff.
Like,
That's insane.
couple things.
Just a couple things.
Tiny things.
Well, you want to be informative, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's ridiculous though, how much craziness. So yeah, JP, you missed something.
Just a little something.
I remember hearing about Luigi, but I'm like, that was about it. So all that was very informative.
Yeah, it's insane. And then, like, the other thing that came out was Lego finally released all of their Nintendo sets.
Oh, yeah.
My wife surprised me and got me the Lego NES.
Wow, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, like, I came home on last Thursday, and I'm like, holy crap. And so, like, in between JP and I working on crazy website stuff, and Barry and I talking about other stuff, and going over everything else, I'm over there working on Legos. And
I was sharing the progress with us too, which was nice.
Posted updates. And what's cool though is I actually don't have a Nintendo in my collection room, like an actual box Nintendo. I have a Sharp NES TV. So it's ironic that now I have the Lego Nintendo sitting next to the Sharp NES TV, and then the wood-grained Lego TV on top of the TV. It's kind of meta. I'll have to take a picture and post it in the Discord chat. But yeah, it's super super cool. It's pretty much to scale too. Like, seriously, I was very surprised with how cool it turned out. I don't know if either of you are planning on getting any of the Lego sets.
Not the set. I bought the NES one. I got that one, and obviously I'm too afraid to build it around little kids, so I was like, well, I'm probably going to hold on to this until we're all older and we can do it together. But I think the coolest thing is somebody on Twitter took the original NES, then I believe they put the Lego one on top of it. Then they put the NES Mini on top of that one, and I'm just like, that was a really nice shot. It looks awesome. I mean, yeah, I mean, it also sold out. I think it's either on back order right now, or it's just sold out because it was exclusive to the Lego store. But
what's ironic is I don't even really use, like, I'll sit there and play the new NES aftermarket stuff. Like, I got Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, and I was playing it in the Sharp NES TV. But I usually use a AVS, which is by Retro USB, and that one does HDMI, but it's a different type. It's FPGA, which means it emulates it perfectly for the HD TVs, and so there's no lag or anything, which is super cool and the best way to play. My test is always Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. If there's no lag during Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it's great. Yeah, so it's super cool though, and yeah, so I love the Lego Nintendo. I posted it over in Discord for anybody listening, and in the Premium Edition Games Discord. In the collector's section, I posted a picture of how it looks. It's pretty rad.
nice.
For sure.
Looks great.
Yeah, so that's some of the news that's come around. I really don't like the other Legos, by the way. I think they look junky. Because it came with like a little set. With like a mushroom and stuff, but like even the Mario itself, like it has like little animation stuff, but it's a little chunker, like Duplo. It almost all looks like Duplo to me.
Kind of does, yeah.
Yeah. And,
so wait, are you not going to get the Mario that'll fit on top of your TV to add the sound effects?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'll just put I'll just put my Mario 3 Raccoon Mario on top of it.
Nice. The one from McDonald's with the springy.
No, I have one of the. I don't know what's the really crazy figure line for
World of Nintendo
figures. No, not
or
World
First Four.
Like First Four. I have a First Four Mario 3. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you all hear about a potential direct next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
August 11th to 22nd was the rumor.
Now I'm hearing August 20th. At least, this is rumors, but in our Facebook group, where they're supposed to be talking all about Mario, and they're supposed to be potentially announcing All-Star Collection 2. That I think would have
Yes,
what would be
I hope
Galaxy, 64, and Sunshine, I believe.
Just think how cool that would be to see 64 like upgraded into HD with all the polygons like went over a little bit, smoothed over. Because I mean, literally back in the day, they used like anti-aliasing, which gives it a blurry look on HD TVs if you do a 1-to-1. And so that's super cool that we could possibly see that. I really think though it's going to be an obvious launch, like we're going to see 3D World. Yeah, that's my thought.
We see anything, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Whatever they announce at this point, it's like, I'm good. I'll get it.
Yeah. Of course you're going to get it, GP.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's not... The impact isn't really there. But, no, I mean, anything Mario, we're probably going to enjoy. I do see a lot of people saying that they want to see Strikers, and I would like to see that, too. I'd even like to see the, what was it, the 3-on-3 hoops one from the DS.
Yep.
I want more sports. We have tennis, and we have kart, and we have, I guess, the Olympics too.
We have hockey.
I want to see the baseball one. I want to see
Super Blood Hockey, JP.
I'd love to see the baseball Super Sluggers and Strikers come back.
That's right. We're still working on the deal where we get 8-bit Mario in Super Blood Hockey.
There you go.
Don't make promises. You can't.
No. Sorry, Laura.
See, the thing with Mario Hoops 3-on-3 from the DS and also the Mario Sports Mix on the Wii, both those games are actually made by Square Enix. So I don't know if they can bring those over or if they can work out a deal to make a third sports game.
How about we just get Mario RPG then? I'll call it a day.
That'd be nice.
Mother 3 confirmed. I heard it.
So why don't we talk about what we've gotten in since we last spoke? I don't even remember the last date.
There's still news.
There's still more news?
Yeah, what else we got for news?
What did you have, Barry?
Don't skip Barry.
Damn straight. You're just so quick to just move on. It's like, come on. We were talking about Animal Crossing because we did talk about that a little bit. I don't know if you guys have seen the TV show called Animal Talking. Have you seen that?
No.
So there's a show called Animal Talking, and Animal Talking, it's hosted by a screenwriter from Hollywood. He worked on like Rogue One, and he does a whole talk show, like, because like the Late Show and the Tonight Show, none of those are really going on. So he does a whole talk show in Animal Crossing. People come into his island in the basement, and they sit there and they talk just like a podcast kind of deal while their Animal Crossing characters are there, and it's whole. And he had on in his latest episode, he had Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, in Animal Crossing, and which is just crazy to see. But and he talked about like the Halo Infinite delay and all that stuff. But then he started talking about Nintendo, and it was like, wait a minute, this is Phil Spencer, right? Talking about Nintendo in a Nintendo game. Like, wait a minute, what's he gonna say? Is he gonna totally like trash the competition, or what's going on? And instead, he did the opposite. He legit was just praising Nintendo, in calling them an actual treasure that needs to be preserved, and that how Nintendo will base their games around their consoles. And it's absolutely really bizarre to see that this is 2020, right? Like, this is what's happening. But I just thought that was a really cool talking point.
You're telling me Phil Spencer has COVID, huh? All right.
No.
He's losing his mind.
Really cool to see like the head of one of Nintendo's biggest competitors praising them on a Nintendo game, no less.
That's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
So yeah, like things like that, I really thought were cool to see. And what do you guys think? I know you guys haven't seen this Animal Talking, but would you like to see like Sony appear on there, or any other developers to appear on there as well?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the idea of different quote-unquote competitors, but all in the same community coming together. Like, I mean, we see it a little bit in the limited spaces where you have like Special Reserve working with Limited Run and other different aspects that you're starting to see now. And I think that's really cool that even the big wigs are doing that, right? Nobody's really above like talking about each other's positives, which is really cool. It's the opposite of the 90s when Nintendo don't. Like,
yeah. I mean, seriously, I feel like everybody benefits when we're all getting along. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but I mean, crossplay, you think about something like that, and it's like, I want to back companies that are positive, that can look at competition and say they're doing a good job, because I feel it's not, to me, it still doesn't feel like you're taking away from, your own business. It's more just like, hey, you're strengthening the entire community. So when you hear something like that where he's talking positively, it's like, oh, wow, like, that's awesome. And I feel more inclined, like, I'd be more interested in what they're also offering.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that everybody has each other's consoles. If nothing else, R&D and dissecting and figuring things out. But usually they're not, especially not singing total praise. And I know like Microsoft has done before, like when Sony's launched something, they've tweeted like, we're happy for you. And Sony seems to be the one that doesn't usually like to communicate. It definitely seems like Microsoft wants to be on Nintendo's good side, and who knows? Maybe this is a key that they're still talking. Because remember, there was that whole rumor like, oh, is Game Pass going to come to Switch, or all these Microsoft games going to come to Switch, and is Halo going to come? And then we wound up getting we got Cuphead and Ori, but we didn't get the second Ori. We just got the first. And who knows? I mean, now Cuphead's on PS4, so that has less of weight as well. But do you think maybe this is gonna start getting the talks again, and we'll see some more Microsoft stuff on the Switch?
You know what I think though, Barry?
What?
I think Cuphead needs a physical.
It does. They said that they were waiting for like the last DLC or something.
They were waiting for a company to come around.
I'd love to. I'd love to pick up Cuphead. That'd be fantastic. Hey, what about Ori? Let's get Ori for the Switch physical too.
With a guide.
You're the Metroidvania lover even more than I am, so that should speak to you.
Oh, I love Ori and the Blind Forest. I have it twice, I think, on the Xbox One. It's amazing. Like, that's what I'm saying though, is I think it's a really cool idea that if we could see Game Pass pop up elsewhere, like that would be ridiculous, actually.
Anything's possible. Depends on how Microsoft wants to do. Look at what has the Xbox One done? Is it 50 million now at this point? Did it hit 50 million, or is it still in the 40s? the Switch just crushed it. And if you factor in the Wii U sales on top of that, it just decimated it. So Microsoft really, they're not going into it with hardware. In fact, they're even in that. Have you guys realized there's this whole stupid stalemate between Microsoft and Sony right now with the price? Neither of them wants to release the price because they both want to undercut each other. So no price has been released and no date's been released. That's what they want to do because Sony did it with the PS4. If you remember, Microsoft's like, oh, it's going to be $600 or $500, and it was 500, and Sony's like, oh, ours is 400 because we don't have the Kinect kind of deal. So now Microsoft wants to get back at them, but Sony's holding onto their information too. So everyone loses at this point.
So you mentioned something funny with dates. Do you know how hard it was to figure out a launch date for Premium Edition? Like, with so many game announcements announced and all this craziness, we're like, well, we don't want to steal thunder from anybody else, and we don't want anybody else to steal our thunder, so we literally had to find like a tiny little spot where we could have our own little fun.
I just remember going like, please don't have like a Nintendo Direct that day. Like, let that not be the day that something else gets launched at the same time. It was a good day for us, I think.
It went about as smooth as it could.
Yeah, minus a few emails.
No, that was actually good. It got people excited.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So Barry, any other news you had?
That was the main one I just wanted to talk about because I just thought that was really like a feel good kind of story too.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we go into what we picked up since we last all had
I think
show?
now we can do that, right?
Sure.
Do you remember the date though that we last recorded? Because I'm looking through my pictures and I'm like, have I already mentioned that I have this game? And now I don't even remember.
I didn't get in a whole lot, so I could start. It's easy.
Yeah, go for it.
So I got in my second copy of Hover in because I got the red art version, I think it is now, and I've had the merge version.
Starting from Hover. I
It
said
was-
starting
yeah.
from Hover. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now I know where my pictures go.
So I got that one. And then the other one that I got, because I only really got in two, and I don't keep doubles, everyone, so if somebody's looking for the red art version of Hover, I do like the cover from Merge better. It's a cooler artistic aspect for me. Hit me up. I have a couple extra copies somehow of Ion Fear. I think I have 2 extra copies now, by the way.
The guy who never buys doubles gets like 3 or 4.
I'm like, what the heck is happening? Like, I don't know. And I don't do doubles, so like, and I don't like to make, like, if somebody in the community wants one, hit me up, and I'll get it to you for cost. What it cost me. And then the other one that I picked up, which I actually picked up on launch day for us, was Mighty Switch Force Collection from Best Buy. Picked it up. And that was really cool. It has 4 games on it, which is pretty fun. Fun little collection. The other thing that I did get from Harbor Freight, they have these little cases, these plastic cases for sale. And they're customizable, and they cost $12 a piece. But they perfectly fit. Like, I have a Sega Nomad, a Turbo Express, and there are these hardcore like collector's cases, which is really fun. So that's awesome. And then I'm going to literally use it probably to cart around our games in there because it fits a Switch game perfectly too.
Nice.
It's a little too small to fit comfortably a Switch Lite, unfortunately. But it's great for because I have LED or LCD modded Turbo Express and Nomad, and the Sega Nomad that I've been using, that's the one I'm creating the complete Genesis book that I've been writing for like 3 years now. Little sidetracked by Switch Collector shenanigans. But that's really all I got outside of like the Switch Player magazine, which is super
I still
cool.
haven't gotten that. Yeah.
And you got the new Nindies one.
Yeah.
The Ninty Fresh.
Oh, I got Ninty Fresh too. I've been reading it. I love that magazine. It's really fun to read. But yeah, I honestly, like, I don't get in tons of games, and I'm very selective.
I guess Barry should go next then.
Mine's gonna be really short. Not that I didn't get a lot in. I got a lot in. It's just I don't remember it all because it's so many.
Highlights,
And
JP.
I don't take pictures, but highlights. I mean, obviously Paper Mario, but I did get that hover, which again I tried to cancel that hover, and they're like, oh no, it's past 30 days, you can't. And I was like, oh great. So now I have it, and I
Oh,
like slip
great.
covers. So I was telling my wife, I was like, so if I take the slip cover off and put it on the American and then sell the other one, do you think that would be bad? And she looked at me and was like,
Yes.
no,
They
the
don't
slip cover
match.
stays. You either keep them both
Yep.
or you get rid of them. I'm like, stop making sense, damn it. I want to do
What
what
a
I want to do.
smart wife you have.
She is very smart. So I didn't
Yes,
do
she
that. So
is.
now I'm debating, do I want to keep both of them or not?
Mhm.
But I did get the Mighty Switch Force, which people are like going crazy when that came out because of Best Buy. Oh, it's on the website, and it popped up.
Yeah.
Color X Malice Unlimited came in.
Mhm.
I really need to get back to the first game, but I'm actually starting just messing around with another game that came in, which was Cat Quest and Cat
Yeah.
Quest 2.
Nice.
So I started
Cat
Cat
Quest
Quest
1's
1.
awesome.
Yeah, I started Cat Quest 1, and it's really a lot of fun. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to play this because it's the double pack, so why not?
Mhm.
Other highlights. Those are, some stuff from like a limited run, like the Mall Brawl. And I kind of went a little PS4 heavy because Best Buy was having like a stupid sale
Uh-huh.
with like Lego Movie 2 was like $6 and Shaq Fu was like $4. And I'm like, all right, I'll grab a couple of these, even though I have them for Switch. I'll grab the PS4 versions. Like Nino Kuni was like $15, and I have
Mhm.
the Switch, I have the PS3, but like the PS4 is the remastered, so I'd grab the remastered version of that. So yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks in terms of what's come in.
Mhm.
But normally when we do this weekly, it's like, all right, I can kind of gauge week by week, but going like 4 weeks, it's like, oh my God. And then this week has been slow. I think it's just been Color, and I think this one other game came out this week, and I can't even remember it.
We'll get to it
When you get,
Ancestors
yeah.
Legacy.
Yeah, Ancestors
Eh,
Legacy. That was it. I did get that. That's the
Yeah.
problem when you're a full set collector. Like if it came out, I got it, or it's at least on the way. Like
Yeah.
my is a right to date girls in the dungeon or whatever. Like, I think that's coming tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what's
Right.
interesting is like I got something in and it was funny because First Press did a Kickstarter for Project Blue for the Nintendo
Yes.
Famicom. Well, I got in the
Mhm.
NES version directly from the developer with Roly last Sunday. Came in on Sunday. So Roly is a platformer where you play as like a crazy roly-poly raccoon. And then
Mhm.
Project Blue is another platformer style, Metroidvania style platformer on the NES. Well, I didn't realize, and I backed, of course, the Famicom homebrew, and I'm like, heck yeah! And then I was like, oh yeah, I got it directly from the developer. So I actually got in a
Mhm.
couple Nintendo games. I got as many Nintendo games as I got Switch games in.
That's awesome. Is it my turn then?
Yep.
It
Go
is.
for it, JP.
JP,
Oh.
Micro Machine, man.
All right, so I'm gonna start with Hover because that's a good point. So I got the Red Art Hover that everyone got in. I got Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus that
Oh.
came out. I got in. We're just gonna scroll. I got Clannad in from Limited Run Games. I got Shadowbug in, which was the second release from First Press Games.
Is that
I
the
got
sequel to the TV show House of Buggin'? With John Leguizamo?
No.
I gotta distract JP somehow.
I don't know why. I got two Physicals, which are codes and cases. So in Europe, the Namco Museum Collection 1 and 2 got two separate releases with codes, and I believe they have 11 games on each one. I also got a few more Physicals. I got Close to the Sun and Grip and Town of Light from the UK. And what's interesting is Town of Light, the physical, had been canceled, and now technically it did get a retail release just with a code in the case. So then I got that. So then let's
to the
keep
Switchmania
going.
Playcast episode on Town of Light.
I
Yes, we
got
did.
in from Yondusoft their first physical release, which was Indie Calypse. So I got in the regular, and I had also gotten the Ultra Collector's Edition. Then as we keep scrolling, I also got in from the UK. It's called Big
see you,
Pharma.
JP. They can't see you scrolling.
No. Did they say they could see me?
He said, "Let me."
No,
As we
I'm
keep
talking out loud.
scrolling, like I'm gonna
So I
start
got
scrolling
Big
your
Pharma
image
in
for
from the
everybody on
UK.
the. I'm gonna start growing your image on the. I'm like,
Great.
ah.
So I got Big Pharma, and then in the US I got Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break. Overseas I got the Ace Angler fishing rod controller, and then I also got the Asia version of the game itself that supports English. I got in Story of Seasons, The Friends of Mineral Town, Void Terrarium, the limited edition from NIS America. I got in the Paper Mario Origami King. Then also, I did get in for a friend, so I didn't keep these, but Shakedown Hawaii and Retro City Rampage DX for the Wii PAL edition. Then I also got in. I got in really cool manual. I got a manual in from Rowan. So Rowan in the UK, he makes these awesome custom manuals for Switch games, and I just got in the Link's Awakening one from him, and they're awesome. Check him out.
That's who I also might have hinted about earlier.
Yeah. I also got in. So I mentioned Ace Angler, the Asia edition. I got in Ninjala, the Japanese release that's on a cart. The only problem is you have to be connected to the internet, and it does not have the single player campaign story mode on the cart. You have to download it, so it really is kind of like a useless cart, unfortunately. Then I also got in for a friend. I didn't keep it, but the Fairy Tale Guild box, which was the UK CE exclusive through the Koei online store.
Koei.
Then I also got in Gone Home, the Best Buy edition from I Am 8-Bit, which is actually a little bit different than the one that they sold on their store. It doesn't have any inlay, and what's really odd is the cover is actually a little bit brighter, so now you can see the house better on the cover. It was very interesting. I also got in Kingdom Majestic, the US release, and you have to remember in the UK they got a limited edition one, and we only got the standard. Then I also got in
nothing.
I got Mad Games Tycoon and Mountain Rescue Simulator, the UK edition, so it has English on the cover. Previously, it was a German exclusive.
Mine has.
I also got in Escape.
You got that already.
I got Escape Game Fort Boyard. So in France and the UK, it was called Fort Boyard, and in the US, it was Escape Game.
Well, I saw in the UK they also got Escape.
And then I also found out at the same time that.
Are they not the same game, or are they different?
So there was Fort Boyard that came out a while ago. Then there was Fort Boyard, the new edition from like France, and then there's Escape Game Fort Boyard, and I think those two match up with like the most recent content. And somebody had posted, they're like, "Do you have this new edition that has like a guy on the cover?" And I'm just like, "I've never even seen that before." And of course, my mind goes to, well, I gotta find this, and I couldn't, and then I found it and I got it. So all good there. Crisis averted.
Okay. And by the way, listeners, it is a crisis if JP can't get it immediately.
Yes.
If there's a whole episode where JP was angry, JP, because he couldn't
I got my Tokyo 2020 English, thank you. Almost done. We got in the UK Farmer's Dynasty that actually came with a cool map. Then I got in my Cat Quest 2 Possum Pack. I got in Streets of Rage 4, the US edition, the signature UK edition. I got in the regular edition of Fairy Tale that I'm keeping, obviously. Obviously. Then I also got in from Limited Run Games. I got Ark of Alchemist and the Brigandine that they did. From Korea, I got the Octopath Traveler Korean Collector's Edition, which was awesome. Apparently sold out in like 5 minutes, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get one. I also got in the Friends of Ringo Ishikawa regular and the Collector's Edition from PM Studios.
Did that actually come out during this time? Because I got that.
It did, yep.
I got that over on my playlist. It's in the picture that we posted on Discord. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then I also got in, again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist because there's a new cover that has a little bit more new content on it. So I have to rebuy that.
Is there any more new content on the card? Or
I don't believe so because on the back it says download for a free update. So I have a feeling, I haven't checked it, but I have a feeling that the cart is the same and it's just kind of acknowledging that you can download like 1,000 more cards and stuff like that. But on a Facebook group, somebody had posted this and I'm like, I got to find that now. So I got that. In Asia, I got Bare Knuckle 4, which is Streets of Rage 4, but I bought that one. I also got in the Samurai Spirits Neo Geo collection from Japan, which is really Samurai Showdown Neo Geo collection that we're getting here. I got in Air Missions from Asia, and it supports English. I got in... nope, we're almost done. Okay, I also got in SteamWorld Heist, SteamWorld Dig with 1 and 2, which was the SteamWorld collection from Super Rare Games. I got in... I guess I get in a lot of games. I don't know.
Oh,
You know what?
good.
I think.
I just
Hold
heard
on.
Barry again. I just got poked back awake from JP's like long. Like all of a sudden.
Listen. I'm on.
This is what happens when
Monday.
JP also skips out on the last podcast.
Yes.
Playcast episode.
I am
too.
on Monday pictures now. I got Scully in. I got in.
I was sleeping.
We're almost nearing the end. Okay, I got in Mr. Driller Drillland, the physical release from the UK, and I got in Ancestors Legacy, and that is it. So I barely got any games.
Listeners, how many times did JP say I got in? Let's go ahead and do a poll.
How many times did he breathe during that?
Well, I had to because Jeffrey kept interrupting me. How rude.
See, like interrupting, which means JP doesn't want any kind of commentary to make the podcast interesting. You hear that, everyone? He doesn't want us to actually.
Fun of me.
Just laughing, really, because you just keep going on
You just
and
keep
on.
going and on and on.
As you can see, the Switch has.
You know, you
games.
did notice that when Barry went, we definitely specified highlights, and JP's like, no, I'm gonna say every single game ever.
You told Barry highlights because he had no pictures. I take pictures.
I didn't say anything about pictures. Don't put words in my mouth, JP. You crazy man.
Barry said he had no pictures, and you're like, oh, do the highlights.
Oh,
but I'm a
crazy.
detailed guy, so you got everything.
You're
And now
You're something.
People just found out about games they probably didn't even know or wanted, but now they know they exist.
Probably.
Yeah. So we should. This is a good time now to let people know that I also like to share what's coming out next week.
How many
I will
breaths,
give you.
JP?
I'll give you most of them. I may miss one or two, but the nice thing is on my JP Switchmania website, every week I put out a weekly release post with links, pictures, all the details of what's coming out.
Oh, and
that
I'm
week.
going to comment if the game sounds interesting, JP.
I will allow you to. So I'm going to start with the first one that I think Jeffrey has been looking forward to for a while. So feel free to comment. It is My Universe, My Baby. That's coming out on August 18th.
That's his game of the year.
It is his game of the year, and it's finally releasing. So thank you for that. This week's actually pretty light, which is nice. As of right now, there's no new limited game that's going to be open up for pre-order. However, if you haven't yet, Carry On and Grease are going to be closing pre-orders at Special Reserve and Limited Run on the 21st. So if you
have
yet,
to say, like, Carry On, I definitely pre-ordered it, and you got the digital with it, which was cool. I've been playing that a little bit on the side. I played it like a couple weekends ago. It is so ridiculous to just kill and maim and murder all those people in the game. You're like a big amorphous blob of meat, and you just eat everything, and it's insane. It gets to a point where you got to learn the tactics because they'll start shooting you mercilessly. But it's awesome, and that is a perfect one. And it's so crazy, all the different artistic aspects that Special Reserve's doing with it. Like, there's like art pieces that they're releasing, and a crazy looking like meat blob style statue that apparently you can hang on the wall. Like, it's like they're doing some crazy cool stuff with that. I love the artistic aspects of Special Reserve.
Pretty much, if it's Devolver, just play it. You're going to enjoy it. Okay, so what's also coming out on the 21st is from P-Cube, Aokana, 4 Rhythms Across the Blue, which is like a day one edition that comes with an art book. And that's what I saw in the US. And then just jumping quickly, in terms of the UK, House Flippers is coming out, and it's getting a retail release and a signature edition release.
Hey,
and then
JP,
next week,
let's wait for House in a Hurry. See,
oh my gosh.
And I get to get it on the Switch game.
Tastes like pee-pee in my mouth.
Tastes like pee-pee.
If you have no idea what we're talking about,
God.
go to HGTV, find the episode where the couple from
So,
Georgia.
For those that are newer listeners, I actually, when I moved from Texas to Georgia, HGTV filmed my home buying experience. It's called Putting Down Roots in Georgia. And like we were filmed, and there's a spot where apparently I've been asking them for. I had an energy drink montage. I drink so much caffeine, but there was one spot where I drank it, and it got on national TV, and I said, "It tastes like pee pee." I didn't even notice it.
In my mouth. I looked at my wife, and we're just like, what did we just hear? Where's the T-shirt for that?
There needs to be.
We need T-shirt, yes. I think we got to start a premium
edition games. It tastes like pee-pee.
We should just have Jeffrey say, I drink pee-pee or something.
No.
Oh my god. All right.
That's
so
not
anyway,
the
House
quote,
Flipper
Barry.
is coming out, and that is honestly about it. There was one other game that I got a notification that got pushed back, so I'm not going to bring that one up. So next week should be light, which is never a bad thing.
You know what I love though, Barry? JP's like, oh yeah, there's only a few games announced in the States. He didn't even mention Super Blood Hockey was announced, dork.
I was about to say, what you should do during a slow week? Pre-order Super Blood Hockey.
Jeez,
was I
JP.
done? I wasn't even done.
You said that you're moving to next week.
What? No. You misheard. It must be like a delay on my audio.
Oh.
So, one other thing that opened up.
You hear what we have to deal with on a.
You hear what we deal with now, everyone.
Now you all know what I have to deal with.
Us.
Anyway, if you've missed it, this week, open up for pre-order for the first time with a 6-week open pre-order is Super Blood Hockey on premiumeditiongames.com. It's going to be open for 6 weeks until Tuesday, September 22nd. So don't wait. Don't forget. Pre-order your copy.
Is it available right now? No. Literally, when I recorded that, by the way, for everybody listening, I had to rumble my jaws when I was we had to do so many times. I had to say it because it was ridiculous. Dan was like, no, you didn't do it crazy enough yet, and I'm like, what? Okay, I'll do it again. It was
Master Dan.
That was actually an improv thing because originally it wasn't supposed to be that crazy, and then he's let's do it, let's make it crazy.
Just keep adding more whoa.
And by the way, none of us could sing in sync when we did the thing. We literally had to all, Dan had to clap for us, and we all had to sing individually.
And then we all realized that we didn't need to necessarily be in sync because he could time it, and he did a great job with that. I mean, oh my god, that was just so funny.
I feel bad for everybody having to listen to us sing.
I don't feel bad at all. They can expect that now. I will maybe change up my song, but probably not at the end of each video. No, creepy. So if you haven't, pre-order Super Blood Hockey. If you have, pre-order for a friend.
Honestly,
it's a great
if
holiday
you have,
gift.
we definitely appreciate your support.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Literally, we're making the game happen. So when the pre-order's done, we're already working on the game. I'm submitting physical assets already. It's happening. It's not like we're waiting. Oh, we gotta hit a X amount of no. Our goal is to get this sucker out as soon as possible. There's no it takes a few months regardless. So let's get ahead of the game. I'm OCD. It's gonna happen. It's going.
I agree. So that I think is everything I have to say. But I will say next week, prepare your wallets. It's gonna be a busy one.
Can next week we on the Playcast read mean tweets?
Yes.
Because I want to go through and just I want to play some sad music.
Oh my god.
Now we didn't talk about the $1 challenge. Should I just hold mine till next week?
Yes. We'll each pick a game and then you can use that one.
I'll just hold mine till next week. That's fine.
Okay.
It's a cool game. I don't know. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. So I didn't pick a funny, crazy game. So just FYI.
Fair enough.
But you can choose whatever you want because sometimes the funny, crazy games win. We don't know. Absolutely. So, are we wrapping it up?
We're wrapping it up.
Oh my goodness. So, let's go ahead and where can we find us, right?
Premium Edition Games.
That's it.
That's the first one and the last one. No, let's Jeffrey, where can people find you if it's not Premium Edition Games?
So it's not www.premiumeditiongames.com. You can find me at HagensAlley.com where you can buy all of my books that are available. I think Hidden Gaming Gems has 3 copies left, guys. I sold almost all of them out at the thing. So.
Oh, I have some. Remember?
Yeah. And
I have 2 left.
So JP has 2 people.
There we go.
Go find them. But there is Switch games in there that I consider hidden gaming gems. So it's pretty fun. I actually cover some Switch games in there. Anyways, I'm at Hagen's Alley on Facebook and the Twitter, and at Hagen's Alley Books on Instagram. Barry?
You can find me on Twitter at Hawk Hellfire. You can find me on Facebook and on YouTube at Nintendo Fuse. And of course, you can always chat with me in our Discord. JP, what about you?
So you can find me at jpswitchmania.com. That's where we have all of the reviews and the weekly release posts that I talk about earlier. On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram is jpswitchmania. And yes, I just want to restate that even though I am the Twitter voice of Premium Edition Games, I am still doing JP Switchmania. So everything that you've come to expect over the past 2 years, the unboxing videos, the support for the other publishers, limited or retail, just news and whatnot, and upcoming releases, that's all staying the same. And I'm doing my absolute best to manage both of them. So I think I did a pretty good job this first week,
Yes.
but you can continue to expect that. And then on the Premium Edition, we'll focus more on our releases. But listen, I love the Switch. I love everybody involved with making games for the Switch and the community. So JP Switchmania never going away. I love doing that stuff. And I do want to just give a shout out. There were many companies this week. I have good relationships with a lot of the publishers, the limited and retail ones. Many of them reached out and congratulated us. Congrats! I saw the announcement. That's awesome. Best of luck. Some were even giving some advice, and that's honestly we've talked about this before, but this is what we want. I mean, we want to just be part of the community. We don't ever want to be we're a competitor against you or taking business away and customers. No, not at all. We just want to be in the space. We want to make fun games, and we want people to enjoy everybody's games. And where we can help out and support you, that's what we want to do. So I'm glad I can bring that over from the JP Switchmania side. But I do want to just thank just some companies in general. So Super Rare Games, to George and Ryan, thank you. VGNY Soft. P-Cube, there was Merge, there was special edition games. I mean, just many of them, limited run. They've all wished us well, and it feels nice. We just want to be part of that community. So thank you to them. But going back, so.
And remember that you can absolutely, if you already pre-ordered our game, you can check out the shipping. If there's a difference, hit us up on email and support at premiumeditiongames.com, and we will be sure to do the due diligence and figure out what the difference is. We got you there. We got you. Yep. We're working on things for international customers, and we love the support and everything. So please check out our site. We are always looking to better everything that we're doing. We will see you next week when we talk about Super Blood Hockey. All right. So we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.